everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Ninja Talk. My name is Eric Davis, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Mike,
What's good?
Drina,
What's up?
and Karl.
Yo, yo.
And for tonight's episode, the topic is going to be Justice League, in particular, the Snyder Cut in all its glory. And to lead us off with this discussion, I'm going to hand it over to Mike.
All right, y'all. So we've all seen the movie, mostly. So first thing I want to talk about is the difference between the Snyder Cut and Joss Whedon's versions. What did y'all like? What didn't y'all like? Things like that. Who wants to start?
I guess I'll start.
All right,
So,
word.
so just in the beginning, I kind of like how in the Snyder Cut, it kind of showed like the mother box actually like waking up instead of just versus the Whedon version where they kind of just, bring us to the Amazonian island and, Steppenwolf just shows up out of nowhere. Like, can we like get some explanation as in how we ended up here and just like, oh bam, there's an island and then here you go. That's not, I mean, I would have done it better. Clearly it was done a lot better in the Snyder Cut.
Right.
Yeah.
We definitely got more background. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I hate funny superhero movies, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
I
I
was
feel you.
You
when
I
I
really
like
get
about that. I don't
that.
like how like Barry was all like jokey. It didn't fit. It didn't
In the
fit to me. It
Whedon
didn't fit.
version, he's even like
No, the one with
more.
the I don't
Yeah.
like humor. It's weird.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, I think, I
It
mean,
doesn't seem like it
first,
fit.
yeah, I mean, first things first. I think Ezra Miller was like a good choice for the Flash, and you have to keep in mind that this isn't like there's no such thing as one Flash fits all. Kind of like with Batman, you have different like versions of Batman, so it can be like the Christian Bale version or freaking Michael Keaton, and so on and so forth. So this is just one of those berries that's kind of like younger, more on the youngish adult side.
Immature a little bit.
Exactly. So I mean, like you said, it's not for everybody. But I didn't think it was too over the top.
Right. In the
Some of the
Snyder
jokes,
version.
It didn't
Yeah.
fit in there. I didn't think it did. I don't know. I just feel like it was weird. Like the way when he said like the jokes. I don't know. Like they're just not funny. Like I got them, but they're just like, did he really have to joke?
there should be no
That
humor
moment in time, and it's like no one else is laughing.
Yeah.
It's weird. Weird.
Nah, I feel you. I think in the Josh Whedon version, he's even like more like he's always joking. It's like, bro, at least in this version, we got him seriousness with his father and stuff like that. We got those scenes with his father and showed like the serious side of him. In the Whedon version, all jokes all the time. It's like, bro, stop.
Can we get back to the main movie, please? Thank you. This is not the Barry Island, side comedy act. Let's go.
Right.
So
But I do appreciate like a comic relief character. Like
yeah.
they don't all have to be serious. It's okay
Yeah.
to have, a little jokester. You know what I'm saying? Little.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of serves like the purpose of kind of just sometimes when the movie gets like too serious, kind of like serves to like bring you back. It's like, all right, so it's not all
No.
blood and guts slash you up. You know what I mean?
I
He's
feel
like,
like
nah.
if you're having an action movie, let me see the action, bro. Don't let me be like, oh, let me eat some pizza real quick and drop a joke and nobody was laughing. I want to see what you're gonna do. Like, I don't want to see you cracking. Like, get to the point.
Yeah, I mean it's an action movie, so obviously everyone came for the action, but it can't just be like
Of course.
24/7 action, 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 like
Why
stab,
not?
stab. Like we're gonna have a freaking 4 hour movie
That's
with
what I'm
people
looking for
fighting.
when I watch a movie
Right.
like that. The intensity.
I'm sorry to tell you, but that's not how you write a movie.
What you think, Carl?
Um, I think the graphics was definitely a lot better. Like
Mhm.
everything looked a lot more like it looked more like suspenseful. You know, like the Joss Whedon one. It was kind of like it looks like they did everything on a green screen,
Mhm.
whereas compared to
Definitely.
the Snyder's cut, um, it looks like they actually like visited certain areas to like shoot whichever shot.
Yeah, so with the Josh Whedon version, they did like a lot of reshooting, and I don't know
Mm,
what went on during that process, but yeah, definitely with the Snyder Cut, we're getting
mm,
like the original footage. So yeah, there was definitely a quality upgrade.
For sure, for sure.
well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the quality was already there. They just took that quality and destroyed it and gave
Mhm.
us like a crap version of the movie. And then, people had to freaking get a million signatures or whatever they had to do on Twitter.
Right.
Actors had to get behind it and be like, yo, release this version of the movie. That one that you gave to everybody, that was shit. And like, I feel like me personally, I was just like, that was just like, oh, all right, we're gonna put this out and hopefully, grabs us money. That was just like a money grabbing move with this movie. Well, the
Right.
first iteration of it. Not so much with the Snyder cut.
Right. Is there anything y'all didn't like about the Snyder Cut? Like, yeah, y'all said earlier it wasn't a perfect movie. Why wasn't it
Right.
perfect?
One of the things that I didn't like was like in the beginning, when those terrorists was like robbing the bank,
Hmm.
and Wonder Woman came in. There was like that small little fight scene.
Yep.
It looked kind of fake. Like
What?
it looked kind of fake. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was just like,
Come on,
damn.
he was like shielding them from the bullets and stuff.
Yeah.
There was a
No,
point where it's like I think she did like like one of them like them low kicks, them down low kicks where you sweep somebody off their feet.
yeah,
She did one of those, but it was like you can tell the person wasn't standing right there. I don't know if you guys remember that part.
I
mm,
remember. I
I
know
don't
what
know
scene
that.
you're talking about.
Yeah, that part was like, oh, okay, dang.
But in general,
it,
I love that whole scene. That shit was fire.
it was.
Uh,
Like you can't like so when you break down that whole scene, like let, I mean, how can you make anyone, make it look, make somebody blocking bullets any
mhm.
better than they made it look,
Mm,
like without it looking like trash.
right. Yeah, no, you got a point there.
Like, um,
What actually surprised me about that whole
that
scene
definitely.
was Wonder Woman killing these dudes. Savage.
Right.
I mean, they kind of
It was
already had a death wish going in because
True.
True.
homeboy was gonna blow up. What was it, the museum or whatever the hell the shit was?
Right, right, right.
He was
I
gonna
think it
blow
was
up
the
the
bank.
museum with everybody in it, so it was clearly ready to
Right.
blow. But she just was like, "Oh shoot, I'll happily oblige."
Right.
There you go. You know. Mm.
This is a random question. When you know that scene where Batman went to meet Aquaman and they were like talking with those people and
Mhm.
then they started singing. What language was that?
What language?
I know it's such a random question because they were singing for a hot minute.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I thought it was some like Russian language or something, like
I
Polish or
think
something.
Russian. Yeah, I'm
Is
thinking
that
closer to
Aquaman
Polish.
speaking? Those
What
Aquaman's
did
people.
I tell you?
Those aren't Aquaman's people, but he's helping them out, and I feel like they worshipped him as like a god.
Oh, okay.
So that's my interpretation anyway. But they worship him. So like how in church you sing, in the name of Jesus.
Ah,
I felt
right,
like
right,
that
right.
was the
In the name
same.
of Jesus Christ, amen.
That was the same concept.
Yeah.
Yo, I thought it was kind of gangster when Batman pulled through, like, yeah, I'll give you XYZ type of money. And they're like, yeah, maybe if you give us, and they're like demanding more. And in my head, I'm over here watching this. I'm like, yo, y'all clearly don't know who Bruce Wayne is.
Nope.
Because they thought he didn't have the money, and then he
No
pulled it
idea.
out. He just pulled it out. Yo, I thought that was mad gangster.
Bro was like, yo, I'll give you five. What was it like 500,000? Talk to him right now.
However much it was, but that scene was gangster.
Okay. Going in, we already expected low key, Bruce Wayne, total G, like just throwing money around, like
I mean,
Yeah.
that's his superpower.
exactly.
I'm rich.
I feel
That
like
being said, so it's funny that you said that because like everybody remembers that scene when he like picks up Barry and Barry's like, so what's your superpower? And he was just like, I'm
I'm
rich.
rich. Yeah.
yo, like
Yeah.
this movie, like it kind of gave me like a different perspective of Batman because when you think about Batman, he's rich, but he never flexes the money. So it's just like just to see that side of Batman, it gives you a whole different perspective of just Batman. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So like, you know, so that being said, since we're switching over to the top of Batman, that being said, I for one person, I think Ben Batfleck, he did a really good job as Batman. And the thing is, like, well, I'm not sure a lot of people realize or they just don't care. Like, he isn't the Batman that we like know from like the shows or whatever, like the younger one. He's like, this is Batman after doing, fighting crime in Gotham for like 20 years. So
Right.
this is like, you know, older Batman, just like, shit, I got money. I'm just here, take it. I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? So I think he did a good job.
Right.
In my opinion, some people not agree. That's fine.
I actually like Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne a lot. A lot. I was rewatching Batman vs Superman today, and like Justice League, he doesn't really get a chance to like shine as much. But I was rewatching Batman vs Superman, and he's like perfect for the role. Low key, he's really good. Like this movie, he doesn't really combat wise, he doesn't really get that chance to shine. It's like okay, they're fighting aliens, and he's a human with a suit.
Yeah.
What's he supposed to do?
He's a rich guy with a suit, jumping around like, all right, well, these are aliens with blasters. You might want to, scoot over to the side. That being said, he doesn't just like lay down and get trampled on. He's still Batman. So of course, the scenes that he does have, he's kicking ass.
Right.
Yo, I got a question. Yo, how come they didn't like try to incorporate Martian Manhunter into like because they gave him like one or two scenes. They didn't like try to incorporate him into like the battle or anything like that. Like
Right. So I believe I was actually like reading up on it, and I think Martian Manhunting was not planned, right? I think it was something Snyder threw in after the fact. Like he was like, okay, let's put in these scenes with Martian Manhunter. And those were reshoots that he put in just for this version. So I don't think that was originally planned. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So can we also talk about the fact from the Snyder cut when they were doing the original like battle for the mug, battle against Darkseid, how they like subtly just dropped in Green Lanterns in there.
Right.
I'm like,
that was actually pretty dope.
I
I thought
I just don't understand why like Josh Whedon cut that part out. Like, bro, that to me that kind of like leads into like other movies. Like, so like the confirmed existence of Green Lanterns is confirmed. So it's like, all right, well, maybe in the next couple movies we're going to outer space and we're gonna get the Green Lantern Corps, which would be awesome.
Right.
I feel like that was definitely a missed opportunity by Joss Whedon and WB.
Mhm.
I have another question.
Yep.
Shoot.
You know that scene where the mom, Clark's mom, she like packs up all her stuff and then she goes to visit Lois in her apartment.
Yep.
And then she's telling her that she like did, yeah. So you remember when she walked out of the door and then all of a sudden she changes into some green thing
Yep.
and then he changes into some military guy. Who was that?
So
That was
that's
Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
yeah. So that's his whole
So
ability.
why
That's
did that even happen?
one of his
That was
abilities. He can phase into
but why did he
anything.
okay, but why did he do that with the mom? And he after he like changed, he was like, the world needs you too, Lois.
Yeah. So basically,
or
like
something like
he was. So let's break it down. Like Lois,
Mhm.
Lois Lane. She's like this headstrong reporter who's like kicks ass and doesn't really care. She's gonna get the scoop no matter what.
Mhm.
But here comes Clark Kent. Being Clark Kent, they all flirt and stuff, and then she falls in love with them, and come to find out he's Superman, and then come Dawn of Justice, he dies, and it's like how do you cope with that? Like especially like her and his mom were the only ones who knew like the real Clark, you know what I mean? And not just the Superman that everyone fell in love with. And then like he's gone. Like she's and so I guess to her it feels like this huge part is like missing from her now. So she just can't. She just has a hard time going on being that strong, independent woman that she was before she met him. Which is why Martian Manhunter is like, all right, well, I understand what you're going through, but the world needs you too. Like you're playing an important part. It's not just Batman, Superman, and all them. It's like you have a big part in this too. So he took it upon himself to give her a little push that she needed,
Right.
and she ended up where she needed to be, and there you go.
Go ahead, Crawl. Ask your question again.
Oh yeah. My question was, what happened to Superman's dad?
Okay. So did you watch Man of Steel?
I did not.
Okay. So that's the Superman origin movie. And they
Okay.
show exactly what happens to Superman's dad. It's actually a scene a lot of people complain about.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's like a tornado going on. There's a
Mhm.
tornado going on, and Clark Kent's there, and he can save his dad,
Mhm.
but his dad's like, no, let me die so the world doesn't know you exist.
Wait.
Because if he goes and save his dad, it's like, okay, this metahuman saved him, but his dad's basically telling him, no, like let me die. But obviously Superman's faster than the speed, fast as hell. So he could save him in and out and keep his identity safe.
Right.
So a lot of people complain about that scene, but the short
Damn.
answer is he died in a tornado.
It didn't make sense. It's like 2 seconds you can grab me, put me to safety, and be back where you were supposed to be, and no one would have known. No one would have known.
Right.
It makes me think about this video I was watching. It was like some skit, and the dude was saying how writers kill off like characters, and they just do it in the worst ways. Like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like how you say like that could have been prevented. It's just like, damn.
Yeah, it's a little plot hole. I mean,
Right.
it's kind of hard to write these movies. I ain't gonna lie, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, see, I think that goes back to what I was saying before about, understanding the culture and, you know, knowing the material you're trying to adapt. Like, I feel like it's a lot easier to adapt stuff into a movie if you don't have to like stick like wicked close to the source material, but at least stay close enough.
Right.
You know, that way you have things to pull from. I mean, saying DC could learn a thing or two from Marvel.
Question for y'all. What was y'all favorite scene in Justice League?
Ooh,
That's a heavy question.
that's a good question. Damn. I mean, I don't know if I have per se a favorite scene, but I mean, there's a couple scenes I did like.
Well, all right. So let's say this: what are like your top three? Top three.
I'm gonna let somebody else go first.
I liked it when they were in the tunnel and like pretty much the Steppenwolf like put a hole into the wall into like the tunnel and all it started to fill up with water and then Cyborg hopped in the whatever that thing is called, the Nightcrawler. They got out of there. That was pretty dope. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, that was dope. That was dope.
One of my favorite scenes would have to be, and I think in that same fight is when the Flash is running around.
Yep.
And Diana at the same time she's diving trying to catch her sword.
Yeah, and he just tips it too.
Yeah, he just like tipped.
Oh, yeah, that
was freaking awesome.
I like it when he slows down like time and stuff. I mean, not time, but like they slow it down.
I've always liked like those kind of scenes. Like there's like I don't know why it's just like mesmerizing to watch, especially in going off topic, but especially in X-Men. It was Quicksilver.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know the one.
Like, yeah. Like, dude, that is just freaking pure genius. Like, the movies overall, the newer ones. Yeah. But I mean, there's like obviously certain points, certain scenes in those movies are just like, and that was definitely one of those scenes. So that automatically makes that Flash and Diana scene like one of my favorites.
I actually like the Flash scene at the end. I'm obsessed with this scene, bro. Where he has to charge up and then go touch Cyborg and transfer his energy.
Yeah, so we got them on the box.
Yeah, I love that scene so much. Like, bro, he gets hit, he forces himself to heal, and then he's like, all right, let me go back in time to the precise moment.
I mean, shit,
I love that scene, bro.
Let me
yeah, no, that was kind of gangster.
Yeah. Love that scene.
I like that fighting scene when they go back to that very first fight with Darkseid. And then you see everybody coming together, the Atlanteans, the Amazonians. You see like he said Zeus was in there. Like I was like,
Zeus and Ares.
Yeah, that was kind of dope. Like I was like, dang, like I didn't even know like they had like Roman gods fighting alongside with like humans and whatnot. I thought that was dope.
I think Wonder Woman's daughter of Zeus.
Yeah. Did they say that in the movie or did I read that somewhere?
I think they said it in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was Justice League, but I think they said
it must have been Justice League.
Yeah, she's the daughter of Zeus. Which is why she has like the blood of the old gods.
Right.
I forget, but
stronger than all the other Amazons.
Yeah, is that why? Because she's the daughter of Zeus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean 3 dimensions?
3 dimensions, bro. 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
So let's speaking of Darkseid. Like, I just don't understand understand why Josh Reed would take
Him.
out like a critical focal point for the movie. Like, why? Like, yeah, I think he got a few name drops in the theatrical release, but it's like, why would you take out like? I think a lot of people, Dark Side alone would have probably drawn in like tons of people in the original. Like, so like I just don't understand like what was going through his head. He was like, this Dark Side stuff, I'm gonna chuck it. Like,
I mean, as much as we hate the Josh Whedon version, right? At some point, like Snyder would have had to cut down this movie. He either had to cut it down or make it 2 parts. So I'm sure Josh Whedon, I'm gonna defend him a little bit, had to make a choice like how much of this do we keep? How much of this do we get rid of? Right? Who's trying to sit in theaters for 4 hours? Nobody.
Nobody's trying to send. But that being said, like the movie was originally gonna be done in parts anyway, so that kind of like invalidates that. That's a smidge. That's a smidge.
True. I don't know though. I don't know the official plan. What was the official? Because if you did it in 2 parts, right? At what point does part 1 end? Like Superman's revival doesn't even happen till part 2. So if I only showed up to the theaters and saw the first half of that movie, I would have left unsatisfied completely. I would have like, what is this?
Well, I mean that's also true because you don't want to be, thrown back to like Marvel Avengers Endgame. Love the movie. Don't get me wrong, but such a long movie. Such a long movie.
Yeah.
That being said, like I don't think they would have released a 4-hour movie to the theaters. It would have been done in parts. But that being said, where exactly would it ended? I don't know. Probably. I mean, if we like take Infinity War as any consolation, probably ended on like a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, I understand that, but like all the lit stuff, like the lit stuff happens in the last 2 hours of the movie. So it's like, okay, you gave us this first 2 hours, great. But that doesn't, it would have been like 100% unsatisfied feeling. So I don't know. I don't know how they would have done. It's actually a blessing in disguise. We got to watch it on HBO Max in the comfort of our homes. You could pause it, rewind it, do whatever you want on your own time.
True.
Yeah. Next question for y'all. Who is your favorite character in Justice League?
Now, is it just the movie or Justice League in total?
The movie.
Okay. Y'all want to go first? Y'all want to do y'all thug thizzle?
You can go. You can go.
Yeah, bro. Take the spotlight. Come on now.
All right. So my favorite character normally is the Flash.
Yep.
But in this movie,
yep,
I gotta give it to Cyborg.
Hey.
He did his thing. He did his thug
thizzle.
I gotta agree with you, bro. Normally, the Flash is my boy. Like I love the Flash TV show on the CW. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Anyway, so I think one of the things that I love about the Snyder Cut is Cyborg was like front and center. Like, we get to find out who the character actually is.
Right.
And what he's actually capable of. And because he's an asset for the Justice League. So, and the way they told his story and everything I thought it was well done.
Right.
Though I'd have to say in the original when Diana is first looking for him and he kind of like sneaks on the computer, thought that was kind of creepy. Definitely glad that was taken out. It's like, all right, so you're kind of just listening and watching, watching everybody as soon as they type your name, which I can understand because I think in the Josh Whedon version, like everyone pretty much knows that he was in a car accident and died. So,
Right.
but still, I thought it was a little creepish.
Right.
Just that part, though. It was like, mm, other than that, like I think, the first, the Whedon version definitely needed more cyborg, but Snyder Cut definitely made up for that. So, my favorite character for Snyder Cut is definitely Cyborg.
Yep. I agree 100%. 100%.
Right.
He gets a 10 out of 10 from me, bro. 100%.
For sure.
His
Yeah, man.
origin story, dope. I
Character
honestly,
development.
I love that he was a football player. Number one.
Like, and not just like a regular nobody on the team. He was like the
Right.
star of the team. Like,
Yeah.
did you not see that last play, bro?
I love that whole
He,
Michael Vick thing.
he's like, oops, sorry. I'm like, I'm just like, nah, I'm winning this game. No one's stopping me, bro. So if you in my way, you getting a foot to the face. Yeah, that's definitely, definitely well done on that end.
I like when after his dad didn't show up to the game, he left him that little voice recorder thing. They
Mm,
kind of give you like that whole scope of like
right.
what his father was actually trying to do. I thought that was really dope. Like he was like saying how like homie had like access to all the banks in the world, all like
Limitless potential,
unlimited.
bro.
Right. Yo, that I think that was kind of dope.
Was
I like how he like made that like the lady and the baby's like bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Like she like put mad money in there. I like did that. That was cool.
Robin
That
Hood.
was Robin Hood action.
Yeah, we need that. We need that right now.
Send me some.
Like, yo, like,
Facts.
this is the hero we need, but we don't got him. Should me some of that money. But,
Oh, was that arrow that the queen of the Amazons did they like? Did she just send that arrow just to tell Diana that there was something going on? Like, was that
yeah,
just for that purpose? Like,
yeah. So
okay.
that whole thing was just to let, like, Diana know that invasion is coming, or that it's pretty much already here, basically. Like,
Do we know
Batman.
what those words were on the arrow?
Not exactly. No.
Oh, the language?
Yeah.
No, I'm not entirely sure
All we get
myself.
is those pictures that she eventually finds that show Steppenwolf. I believe it shows Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf or Darkseid.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, the battle.
No, I think it
The
was
battle that
Dark
happened.
Side. It was
Was it
Dark Side.
Darkseid?
Yeah,
And then
because
she kind
that's
of
when,
knows.
that's when they went back to the first battle 1,000 years ago with Darkseid, where he got his ass kicked. His 5-head self. But
That's funny.
yeah. But also on that note, I already said how I was happy to have Darkseid in it. But I'm kind of glad that they showed him getting destroyed when he came to Earth, which kind of gives him the motive to come back
Right.
and try to reconquer it, which I think is where they would have gone with the next iterations.
Question:
Mhm.
What was the anti-life?
So the anti-life equation pretty much allows you to control every living thing. Like
Oh wow,
you can make them do whatever you want.
So
that's crazy.
I believe the theory is that someone controls Superman in the future with the anti-life equation.
Oh,
Is that correct?
You mean that's why we ended up with that parallel future?
Right. The nightmares. Yeah.
Um,
Dang.
Because why does Superman lose control?
I thought he lost control
Yeah,
because
see, I thought
of
that's what I
Lois
was saying.
Lane.
Yeah,
Right.
she
Yeah.
died.
I mean, that makes anybody depressed, but that doesn't make anybody,
True. Then, go suicidal and one. So I don't know. Maybe Darkseid found the anti-life equation, and that's how having Superman hunt everybody down.
Right.
But see,
Another
that's never explained. So I don't have no idea.
that kind of brings up another question. When they resurrected him, why did he attack them if he knew he was boys with Bruce?
Well, I mean, he just died. I mean, if you just died and you came back and you're like, oh shit, I'm pretty sure I was just dead. What the hell is going on? I'm pretty sure I know I wouldn't be in my right mind.
I think of it in the Batman universe specifically. You know how you have the Lazarus pit?
Yeah.
And when you come back from the Lazarus pit, you're not like your body's alive, but you're not all there.
Ain't that shit crazy?
Right. So I kind of think of it like that a little bit. And
Okay. That makes sense. Then.
And it actually makes a lot of sense. Like that I'm like picturing it, like the Lazarus pit and like that whole like what do they call it in the movie?
What do you mean?
The pit that they used to bring him back on the ship.
Oh, I don't remember that specific name.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So basically, like came back. But he was kind of like not all there quite yet, which is why he kind of snapped. And then he saw Bruce. Is like kind of Bruce's fault that he died.
You know what part that kind of weirded me out about that scene? When this is when he first started to attack them, and then Flash went to go attack him, and then they slow down the scene, and all you see is Superman's eye just be like, I was like, that's crazy. Like his eyes like turn to him. I'm like, what the?
Well, see, because like Superman, he is, I don't know, what would you say? He is as fast as the Flash.
Maybe like a hair
So
slower.
I can see that.
He's able, so he's able to like keep up with him and like see his movements.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I thought it was, I actually liked that scene. I was like, oh shit.
Like when he made Flash go into Aquaman, and then after the scene, Aquaman was like,
he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so that's why. And it's like small details like that, which are like, I mean, don't really mean a lot to the story, but for like fans who've been watching like the comic, watching the cartoon and reading the comic books and stuff, they know that. So it's like, oh snap, look at that. You know what I mean?
Next question. Where would you guys rank this among superhero movies? Is it the best, top 10,
No,
top 5?
I give it top 5. But
It was good, but
I mean, it was more detailed than the other one, so it was, you know what I mean. It was alright.
Yeah.
Well, see. I mean, I definitely would put it somewhere behind all of the Avengers movies. That's just me.
All of them?
Yeah.
All of them.
Avengers
All of
them? So much better.
Age of Ultron?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
What? You disagree?
I definitely think it's better than Age of Ultron. I could probably make an argument is better than Endgame. I'll definitely put Infinity War above it, 100%. Infinity War is like, the GOAT. And even Avengers 1, I could probably make an argument that is, right there with it.
Okay. I might have to go back and rewatch these movies and see what's up.
No, I mean, hey, I mean that's your order. I'm not knocking. I'm just, okay.
I mean, Endgame's a great movie, but the first 2 hours is the last 30 minutes is lit, right? Age of Ultron is okay. I don't know what else to say about it. It's okay. Avengers 1 is great. Like,
Mm.
you know, it's up here. But you know, I think Justice League is up there. It's up there.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely up there. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that because I think if they had if Warner Brothers had went about Justice League the right way, they definitely could have given Disney a run for their money.
Mhm.
For who has the best superhero team on screen.
Right, right, right.
But I feel like they severely botched that,
Yeah.
and but that's what it is. But that means Justice League is still, still a good movie.
Mm.
Well, excuse me, the Snyder cut of Justice League is still a good movie.
The Snyder cut.
Let's make that known the difference between the two movies.
Carl, what do you got it?
Um, I mean, I think it was definitely a lot better than the Josh sorry,
Jeffrey.
I lost my train of thought.
Yep.
It definitely was better than the first one,
Yep.
but I wouldn't I wouldn't compare it to some of the Avengers movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fair. Uh,
Yeah, I just don't think the DC cinematic universe. It's just bad.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
I think, and they even have the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie coming out,
right.
Okay. Damn.
and I think a lot of people are kind of hoping that this might be like the turning point for the DCU.
Whew.
I don't think it's gonna be the turning point. If anything was the turning point, it was this movie. But
Well,
Suicide
it's just the
Squad
thing,
is
like
like a
this
side story.
movie.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, go ahead.
I don't even know what I was saying. Lost my train of thought, bro.
I'm hip.
Um,
I got the devil's lettuce brain.
yeah,
What
Mhm.
is that?
but I don't have high, game changing expectations for the James Gunn Suicide Squad,
Right.
but I'll definitely watch it. Like,
Of course.
there's no doubt in my mind it'll be an interesting watch.
Mhm.
That's for sure.
What do you guys think about the ending, the epilogue specifically? Like with you got the nightmare and then you got like Batman and Joker.
To be honest, I was kind of a little lost at first
Hmm.
because I was like, why are they showing this part? But then when I saw like the dark side scene, I was like, okay, I guess I kind of understand what they're trying to do. Um, but I mean, I would have never expected to see Batman and Joker fighting side by side.
Right.
But Joker did make a great point though. He said that Batman cannot live without him,
Hmm.
which is definitely true. I've heard people bring up that conversation a couple times.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting that Batman like just never just kills him. Like, bro,
Right.
just kill this dude.
He has that line, he can never cross.
uh,
Once you cross
you know
it,
how many problems you
can't
would
go
save
wrong.
if you just kill this dude?
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
we all know that his problems would be a lot less if he committed said deed. But he's Batman and he has a code.
Right. Do you guys think Jared Leto makes a good Joker?
Nah.
Nah, even in the Snyder cut.
Yeah, I mean, he
Damn.
definitely nailed down the laughing parts because,
Really?
like, the previous Jokers, I feel like he nailed down the laughing part, like but
Uh
that nah, but just acting wise, I don't know.
huh.
I feel like the previous Jokers have did a better job.
Or what you think?
Um, I don't know. I think I kind of like him as Joker.
Yeah. Okay. I was feeling it. I was
This,
feeling it.
yeah, this iteration of Joker.
I wasn't crazy about the Suicide Squad version, but I think he has potential.
Mm.
Coronavirus.
I just had a cough, but that's the thing. Like, so there's been like how many different versions of Joker? Like,
Just in the last like few years.
no, I just meant in general. Like in general,
I mean, in general,
5 or 6.
Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, obviously. Yeah, around like 4 or 5
Yeah,
if you count the cartoon versions.
yeah. So I mean, this version, I think, basically it was the the gangster version of Joker.
Yeah, I wasn't
Like,
feeling
I
that in
mean,
Suicide Squad.
yeah, like, well, so, I mean that was the Joker that he played. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the Snyder cut, it was kind of weird, honestly. Kind of just pull him out of like left field. So like, I get it. It's like an epilogue, and it's like it's supposed to veer into the future and stuff. But it's like he had like no mention in the movie, and then you just kind of randomly slide him into the epilogue. Like
So,
I see what you try to do there, but I saw you slide, so I'm not. It's not 100 when. Sorry.
so as far as I know, that scene's a reshoot scene, and Snyder was like, "Hey, like, if I never get to make a DC movie again, I'm gonna go all out." So he was like, "All right, let's bring in the Joker for this scene." So that's why it's so random. Like, it's like,
Mm.
where the hell you come from?
Yeah,
Right.
I definitely I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Like the inclusion. I didn't like the inclusion.
Mm.
It just like I said, felt completely left field for me. It was just like, okay. But I think that being said, I think Jared Leto as a Joker from Suicide Squad. I didn't think he did a terrible job.
Mm.
Just his gangster version of the Joker. I mean, could somebody probably possibly do better? Maybe, but for the performance that we got, and I mean, honestly, he didn't even like the scenes that he shot didn't even really make it into the Suicide Squad. So his performance could have been a hell of a lot better, but no one would know because it didn't make it into the movie.
Yeah, I mean, what the whole thing with that is like he didn't write the script, right? So like he's just working with what he got. Like, you know what I'm saying? Someone's like, "Hey, you need to play this version of this character, and here's your lines." It's not his
Yeah,
fault.
he just put his spin on it, and and the directors loved it, so they said cut, we're gonna shoot it. We're gonna might not put it in the movie, but we're gonna keep it anyway. But I mean that just goes back to everybody like, oh, they all have their favorite Joker because everyone does, and then like it's when you say something about their Joker, and then it's like it becomes this whole all-out war about who's the best Joker, why, and like, okay, well, I feel like everyone who did their spin on the Joker was good. And you can't really compare them because they're each playing a different version
Hmm.
of the Joker.
I agree.
Right.
So,
I had 2 questions,
Yep.
but it's not about the Joker.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Go ahead.
the first question was, how did Lex Luthor find out Bruce Wayne's identity? And then the second question was, what was the beef between um, Deathstroke and Batman?
So Lex Luthor, he's always known Bruce Wayne's identity in this universe. I just watched Batman versus Superman last night,
yeah.
this morning, and they don't really explain how he knows what he knows, but he knows. He knows Superman's identity and he knows Batman's identity. Um, so that's that.
Some
He is
omnipotent type shit.
right. He is rich as hell,
Uh-huh.
and he has a way of finding information.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's all they give us. They don't really explain exactly how they got from here to here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my second question, which was, what was the beef between
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke and Batman? Because I know he's when Lex Luthor had told him Batman's true identity, he said that he had mentioned that it was something personal.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a good answer for that one, Eric?
Honestly, not coming up with anything.
So like obviously like Deathstroke's an iconic Batman villain.
Mhm.
So any beef that happened between Deathstroke and Batman happened before, right? So obviously this version of Batman he's been 20 years in the game. And we didn't see, that journey. We just kind of see, where he is right now. So we don't know exactly what went down between Deathstroke and Batman.
Mhm.
We can just
Well,
imagine.
probably something they probably could have like fleshed out in like a future upcoming movie or something.
Right.
Like they like go to toe to toe and then like there was some kind of like little flashback in there somewhere. I don't know.
I do like how they introduced him though to this movie.
Deathstroke?
Yeah, they were kind of gonna introduce like what was it, the Legion of Doom.
Right.
Really? Wow. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
And then in the Snyder cut, did they keep the scene where it was good? Yeah, they kept the scene where they were looking at like the place for the new Hall of Justice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was dope.
It was that was a good scene. Oh, Hall of Justice, they're back. But see that would have also opened up, the universe to add in more characters.
Right.
Green Lantern for sure, I think, was probably going to be the next character.
Mm.
Would y'all rather Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart?
Jon Stewart.
I know I'm asking a bunch of black people.
No.
Which Green Lantern do you want?
Jon Stewart's the black one, right? Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I feel like he's the more stronger Green Lantern, I guess. If that's to put it in layman's terms.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say he's stronger. I think the strength of the Green Lantern depends on like their will.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So like if you have a strong will, like you're pretty strong. I mean, the only reason why I went with John is because I grew up with the Justice League
Right.
cartoon. That was
Right.
the Green Lantern that I knew. No, no discredit to Hal Jordan, but nah, I'm good. Just give me back John.
Uh,
That's all. That's all.
for sure. For sure.
I don't care about nothing to do with white, black, Green Lantern. Just this is the one I just grew up with. That's all.
I wonder, would they ever bring back Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan? He's like,
God,
nah.
I hope not.
He's like, nah.
Yeah.
He's like, nah.
Well, let me rephrase that. Ryan Reynolds, I think he did the best he could with the script that he was given.
Right.
But I mean, it doesn't matter how big your name is or how big of an actor you are. If the movie script is trash and the CGI was trash, and that was hella trash. There was just no saving that movie, the Green Lantern movie. Just bad. So I don't know. Maybe if they do bring back Ryan Reynolds and then Hal Jordan, maybe it might be better. But kind of like depending on the last one. I don't know.
I'm not sure he fits. Going back to how we talked about comic relief characters and funny characters and stuff like that. Obviously, Hal Jordan's funny, so I think it might bring balance to like the personalities having another funny guy.
Right.
But does he fit like the tone of the Snyderverse?
I think so.
I think it could work. It might, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, because if we I think if we look at like all the cartoons and how all the characters like interacted with each other and like how they would throw in the little quips here and there, I think if um WB could like somehow bottle that magic, it could work on the big screen. At least I think so. But I do think Ryan Reynolds, I think he would be up for the task. I mean, because he took on Deadpool and look how he smashed that one out of the park. So I think he definitely has the caliber. I think it just depends on the script and maybe the director.
Mm-hmm. Anything else anybody wants to add? Drina?
I need to do a lot of catching up apparently, because
You're not that far behind, honestly.
no. When I tell you I do not watch TV like that, I don't know who the hell I was talking about. Okay, nothing.
All in all, I think the Snyder Cut and all its greatness is the movie we should have originally got. I would have loved to, keep on with the Flashpoint like storyline they were going with. Obviously, that's probably out of the window for right now. We don't know, but
No, there's a
you know.
Flash movie coming.
Oh, is there?
Like in the works, in production, like it's coming.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know the storyline, but
Yeah.
Ezra
Maybe
Miller
we'll get
is coming back. Yeah.
Flashpoint in that movie.
Perhaps.
Also, so one quick thing before we head into wrap up. I think the order in which DC was released these movies just didn't make no sense to me.
It didn't, but I think it worked. Like it didn't work, but I think it salvaged itself, right? Because you got the Superman, and then we got Batman versus Superman. We don't really need a Batman origin movie. We know his origin, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
then we got Justice League. Is that what happened next? I feel like what happened next? Wonder
yeah,
Woman or
yeah, we got
Justice League?
Justice League. We got Justice League.
Yeah, we did get Justice League. Okay, so Wonder Woman should have came out before Justice League. I will say that.
Hmm. I don't know, I feel so like going back to what you just said, we don't not need a Batman origin movie, another one. Why did we need a Superman origin movie?
I mean, why not?
Well,
I mean,
I'm just saying, like,
first of all, this
if they're
Superman
gonna,
is super different than And first of all, like that Superman movie introduced Zod and everything. It led to everything we see after that. So like that battle between Zod and Superman leads to the plot to Batman versus Superman, right? All that destruction. Batman loses like a whole, you know, employee in a building, right?
yeah,
So that led to the whole plot of Batman Superman. And so like, yeah, I think that Superman movie kicked off this universe. So it was necessary.
I feel like personally, I don't know, I'm out of like the Batfleck solo film. But that's just me. Like I said, I think a lot of people when they heard that he was cast are like, oh great, he's gonna ruin another superhero movie. I'm like, oh my god, just give the guy a chance. Like what movies have you been in lately? Like, come on. Yeah. I don't know, the order was just weird for me. I feel
It
like
was weird. It was
if
rushed.
they, yeah, if I feel like if they did something not similar to Marvel, but something like maybe along slightly similar lines. I don't know. It wasn't good for me. That's all.
Right.
Hmm.
I feel you though.
Yeah.
Carl, you got any closing remarks on Justice
Uh,
League?
I was just gonna say, so let's go ahead and get into closing remarks.
um, overall, I mean, I think this one was definitely a lot better than the first one. Hopefully, homeboy, does some more stuff,
Mm-hmm.
in regards to like, other like superhero movies, you know.
Right.
Maybe like someone else could like do their own version of like, remake version of the movie and like maybe make it better, like or enhance it or work in areas that were lacking.
Hmm.
I don't know about all that because that's gonna take a lot of money, but
Mm.
It's like, I don't know, do they like reshoot everything, rebuild the franchise, or do they just keep moving forward with so Flash films and
right.
like Green Lantern films? Where I don't know. I personally, I just don't know. I just can't see where the future of the DC, CU is going. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like they completely botched like their chance to like go like toe to toe with Marvel and the Avengers. Because I mean, the Avengers was done not flawlessly, but it was done like phenomenally.
Mm-hmm.
And if you compare, what the MCU did versus what Warner Brothers and the DC, DC cinematic universe did, kind of like leaps and bounds,
Right.
literally. So I don't know.
That's,
I'm curious to see where they go in the future, especially if they're not gonna continue like with this movie. I don't know like what they're gonna do with it, or it's just gonna be like, all right, well, this is the movie in its entirety, plot holes and cliffhangers included. So take what you get. You know what I mean?
I'm actually excited, a little bit excited, cautiously excited, because I think this whole project is salvageable. We could get, some prequel Batman movies. I know like Ben Affleck is like fed up with the studio and doesn't want to do movies anymore for them for Batman because he wanted to write his own script for Batman, and they were like, nah. And he was like, fine, I'm not doing Batman anymore. But if they did Batman prequels, and then like a Flash solo movie, we already got Aquaman. We don't really need an Aquaman 2, to be honest, right now. But if
No.
yeah, I think we just need Batman prequels and Justice League 2 and a Flash solo film. But that being said, if they did Flash and they did Flashpoint Paradox, you can recast Batman, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, didn't they cast Bat? Didn't they already recast Robin
Right.
Pattinson
So
or
I don't
something?
even know what that is. I saw the trailer for it and it looks dope as hell, but I don't know where that fits. And is it its own thing, its own solo thing over here? Like we're just gonna ignore what we built over here. We're just gonna put out this solo Batman movie, which is cool with me. You know what I'm saying? I love Batman. Give me Batman movies. I'm cool with that. But I did want to see Batflack in his own solo movie
Yeah.
before,
Definitely would have liked to have seen that.
especially with the whole, they're teasing the death of Robin, bro. Like it could have been a dope movie. It could have been a dope movie.
Yeah, like Jason Todd dying and then him coming back as the Red Hood.
Right.
That would be an amazing movie.
So much potential
Red
there.
Hood. Oh, so much potential.
Um,
Such a good storyline.
right. Drina, do you have any closing remarks? You're muted.
Nah,
I
I
know
don't
you
know. I
didn't.
think the movie was alright over in general. It was alright.
It was I.
Yeah.
Just I. You gotta finish the movie. I feel like we'll upgrade
Yeah.
I to just a
Oh
little.
yeah, it was good. It was good.
We'll upgrade I to good.
Yeah, we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
For sure.
Yeah. So I mean, all in all, I think some really good stuff.
Right.
I want to thank the listeners for tuning in to the episode. I want to thank my co-hosts for giving their insight on said topic. And you're a clown. You're a clown. Shit, I don't even know where I left off.
You'd like to thank our co-hosts for giving our 2 cents.
Oh yeah. I would like to thank my co-hosts for giving their insights on the topic of the night. I'd like to thank you, the listener, for tuning in with us, and I hope you come back for the next episode of Ninja Talk. Thank you, and have a good night.